Good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to represent here today the Italian Department for Cohesion Policy of the Presidency of Council of Ministers in the dual role of public administration coordinating the programming of the EU cohesion funds and as WestMED, the national coordinator and co-president together with the Chancellor Daniele Bosio of the Italian Minister for Foreign Affairs. Well, we are approaching the end of the Italian co-presidency, and I am proud to acknowledge all the progress that the WestMed has been doing since its start, and in particular in the last 2 years, in terms of visibility, networks, and thus potential for its strategic priorities to be funded. I take the opportunity here to thank also the European Commission, the WestMed countries, all the institutions and bodies involved in this implementation, and the WestMed assistance mechanism that actively supported and supports the whole process. Well, based on articles from 174 to 178 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union, EU cohesion policy contributes to strengthening economic, social, and territorial cohesion in the European Union and beyond through co-financing of the pre-accession instrument and the neighborhood development and international cooperation instrument, the main instrument for the EU cooperation and development with partners countries. In this new programming period, the cohesion policy delivers to Union's political priorities, as you all know, aiming at correcting imbalances between countries and regions, greater focus on the green and digital transition. In order to reach these goals and address the diverse development needs in all EU regions, 392 billion euros, almost 1/3 of the total EU budget, has been set aside for cohesion policy for 21-27, which is integrated by the IPA and NDICI funds. The new regulatory framework contains a renewed message on the importance of coordination between different EU funds and instruments, which in fact means a better value for money, where it becomes a systematic approach to programming. Coordination and integration between funds produces critical mass and more efficient and effective interventions built on the needs of territories, improving the quality of life of citizens. Macro-regional and sea basin strategies as the WestMed in the Mediterranean are strategic frameworks of cooperation in the macro area, born to address challenges and issues that cannot be effectively solved at the level of individual countries, but require a shared approach and coordinated actions of several countries and or regions. As you all know, these strategies do not have own resources. Cohesion policy is therefore one of the possible instruments to achieve the objective of these strategies. The process of embedding the priorities of the strategies into programs from the programming stage onwards represents therefore a fundamental step for cohesion policy to actually contribute to the strategies. I can testify personally the huge work that Italy is doing with regard to the integration of the EUSIRE, EUSALP, and WestMed priorities into 21-27 Interreg and regional cohesion programs, trying to work more systematically on capitalization, defining concrete steps to achieve concrete results, and hopefully minimizing constraints. Today, we are talking about Mediterranean and the blue economy, a strategic area for all people living here, and not only actually. Unfortunately, the 24 Mediterranean countries are lagging behind in pursuing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the 2030 United Nations Agenda. On the other hand, most of the challenges posed by United Nations are also WestMed priorities and will be tackled at different levels in all territorial cooperation programs in the Mediterranean. Well, I think that the main question is what can we do to improve and accelerate the contribution to these objectives? by bridging the gap between principle and actions. Well, in my view, there are three main actions. Firstly, we need to act as a team in close cooperation at three levels, between member and partner states and EU institutions, between these and productive systems, between citizens. Secondly, I think we need to organize all the work done so far, communicate it in the best way possible, and capitalize on the best experiences. Thirdly, and specifically for the WestMed, we have to put the roots of this embedding now in the programming phase to get prepared for the implementation phase. It's an hard work, actually, which often involves a change of mindset. Interreg programs are born with and to pursue a cooperative approach to solve common problems. So they are facilitated in the method, in the process of embedding, but they have limited budget and their geography correspond only partially to that of WestMed. On the contrary, regional cohesion programs often need to discover the great opportunity arising from a cooperative approach, even in response to WestMed priorities. Without forgetting that Interreg programs can often serve as experimental laboratories for regional programs as a catalyst for wider local investment. Finally, we need to remember that it is not only cohesion policy that can contribute to the implementation of WestMed priorities. We need to look beyond cohesion in terms of complementarity to all relevant EU and international financing instruments that will help us achieving our common goals. Well, I regret for not being able to follow all the working sessions, but definitely my deputy Monica Belisario will be present. Thank you for your attention, and I wish to everybody a fruitful work day. Thank you.